All right, boys, we are recording live. This is Nick Atkin with SCMP Martial Arts, and on my left, I've got Andrew McNicol. On my right, I've got Chris Edwards-Bailey. Andrew, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad. Yourself?
Good. Yeah, I'm good. Chris, what's up?
Yeah, I'm fantastic, man.
Well, these boys have come in to join me to break down One Championship's huge century show, which I just got back from in Tokyo. I'm pretty tired, but we're gonna do this, boys. Give me your first reactions to the show. How did you think it went, Andrew?
It was great. I mean, I can't imagine how tired you must be, but I thought
I'm
it
pretty
was
tired,
fantastic watching it from over here. I thought it was just super exciting. I got goosebumps almost every
Chris,
fight.
you like it?
Yeah, well, I liked having two shows in one day. It was nice to watch Demetrious Johnson while I'm in bed, having my cornflakes, and then in the afternoon, getting to watch Aung La while I have a beer. So two shows in one day, it does have its benefits.
Yeah, it was crazy for us as the media there. I think we met in the lobby of the hotel in Tokyo around about 7:15 a.m. We jumped on a bus, got to Sumo Hall in Ryogoku about 7:45. Show starts at 8. Where we barely, maybe it was 9. I can't remember. My mind is fried.
Straight.
Yeah. It's just it was about 16 hours all in all of mixed martial arts, kickboxing. You can't complain to us. But everyone was pretty tired afterwards. I guess we should start with the main event of the second card, which closed the entire day. Aung La N Sang, the Burmese Python against Brandon Vera. Aung La coming out with brilliant second round TKO, defending his light heavyweight title against the heavyweight champ. Chris, man, you must have been impressed.
Oh, I was impressed from start to finish. I actually feel pretty much after about 2-3 minutes into the first round, once Brandon Vera started to feel Aung La's power, I think it actually changed the game a lot. And Aung La just grew in confidence and whipping out spinning elbows and stuff like this.
For me, that was the turning point when he hit him with that spinning elbow, because Brandon was actually winning the second round. He was hurting him, I think. But Aung La would tell you differently. But Aung La's face was a little bit bust up in the press conference after. Andrew, what did you think? How was it going when Aung La put the elbow on him?
Oh, it looked great. I mean, you could tell Vera wanted to get him back straight away. But for me, it was just a case of getting Vera out of that first round. I think he was most dangerous at the start there. And Aung La did it just as professionally as we all thought he did. And I mean, he was great.
Aung La looked in incredible shape, but so did Brandon. I've never seen Brandon in such good shape. And he told me before the fight, you were going to be surprised how quick I am. Seriously. And he was. But for me, it was an incredible atmosphere. There's thousands of fans from Myanmar. They always come and watch Aung La, and I'd say Aung La's got the best walkout song in all of MMA, because you got thousands of people jumping in the air. Like, what was it like in TV? Because in the arena, man, I had chills, goosebumps. Everyone was going nuts, all of Aung La's fans.
On TV, you could definitely feel that electricity.
Yeah.
You just feel that there is a presence about him, and there is something. He has something about him that makes him into a bit of a world star.
Intense, though, didn't he, coming down that ramp?
Oh, yeah. Definitely. He came there to do business.
He did, man. He got the business done. And I thought he handled himself very well in the post-fight interview. Did he come off as a star to you? To me, it seems like he's one of one's biggest commodities now going forward.
I feel like he's always been potential star, and I think after this fight you just can't argue that he's just gonna get even bigger. So I think very marketable guy, speaks really well.
That's it. He's lived in the US for a long time. He trains at Hard Knocks 365 with Henry Hoof, one of the best coaches in the game, especially kickboxing. I think there's some killers in that gym, man, like Martin Nguyen, who was cornering Aung La. They always corner each other. They're good buddies. They train together, eat together. What did you think of Martin's presence? Like he told me, he just kept Aung La on the focus, straight away.
I'm not always sure about having teammates in the corner, but I think for these guys it does make sense, and they do seem to have some sort of kinship between them.
They're good buddies.
Yeah. And I mean, Martin's been there. He's done almost everything in the game. So I mean, having someone like that to give you advice can't hurt.
Yeah, I think I was saying after to Aung La, like, he's got to be pound for pound the best in one with Martin and DJ. I can't think of anyone else.
I can't think of anyone else who really jumps out.
Well, someone who may jump out and did jump out to me was Christian Lee, who has been in the
making strides.
Yeah, he's 21, this kid, and I wrote the guy off for this fight.
Genuinely 21.
He is.
Jeez.
He looked incredible against Dagi Arslanaliyev. I think most people wrote Christian off for that, thinking Dagi is just too strong. Christian said after the fight, no one thought I had a chance. They thought when you get hit by this guy, you going down. But he handled him, didn't he?
Oh yeah, definitely. His ground game is phenomenal.
Yeah.
His stand-up game has improved, and I just want to see where he can be in 2 or 3 years.
Yeah, I mean that first round, my buddy Tom Taylor from BJ Penn, shout out Tom. He was writing for SCMP that weekend.
Okay.
We were watching it from the side, and he's like, those hits from Dagi sound like slapping a stake against the wall. You could hear that. And I thought if he catches him with one, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Christian seemed to know that, and he rode the storm.
Yeah.
And then it took over, really, in the second round. Dagi gassed out really hard.
Yeah.
And if you consider Christian took the fight on 10 days' notice, replacing Eddie Alvarez. Yeah. But Christian did... I don't know if you saw this on the TV. They probably cut away, but he threw up in the cage 4 times.
Oh, wow.
You didn't know?
No.
Yeah, because he was so exhausted.
After the fight?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
They were cleaning the mat for about 5 minutes after when they went dark.
Sorry to embarrass you, Christian.
he admitted it in the presser. But another interesting fact, my other journalist friend, Leon Jennings, shout out to Leon from Asian Persuasion MMA, he interviewed Dagi in the build-up, and Dagi told him, I've been ill, really ill. I got a bug, got chills, been in bed last week. And to me, it seemed like it had affected him a bit. Did he come off as flat? Yeah.
Came off as flat. He didn't show anything he showed in his previous fights. To be the World Grand Prix final, it didn't really give all I think he's got, Dagi.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw this again on TV, but he was stretchered out of there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he lay down on the canvas for about 3-4 minutes. It was really awkward. We didn't know what was going on. There's like 5-6 people surrounding him to block it out. He was taken to hospital, yeah.
I was just surprised at how many times he got taken down, because I thought he had a very strong base.
So did I. I genuinely think, all props to Christian. It was a real star-making performance. I was super impressed, but I thought Dagi was off his game, and I think I'd like to see a rematch down the line. What do you think?
Yeah, a rematch would be good, but I think Christian Lee wants to fight Eddie Alvarez.
Yeah, he said as much. Yeah,
this is the big fight. This is who you want to fight if you want to become a global star.
Yeah,
there's no one else at that weight that has the body of work that Eddie Alvarez does.
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I mean,
that's probably the fight to make.
Where do you do it?
Oh, New York City, Los Angeles, Hawaii. Go halfway between America and Asia.
Christian himself, he said Madison Square Garden.
Okay.
One's looking at that, man. I think DJ said it on Ariel Helwani's show today. We're going to go to Madison Square Garden. They're definitely looking at that venue. And he said we can sell it out. I was like, sure, it's a huge arena, man. Like, that's a big ask. Especially a product people aren't familiar with in America.
Yeah, that's the problem. But you never know. They could just fill it with kids and have a one championship esports tournament to start it off.
I think and Eddie Alvarez is a name. Philadelphia is his hometown, right? So he brings a lot of fans, I guess, from there. I mean, what's the capacity there? It's like 15 max.
16,000, So you'd have him, you'd have
DJ
Angela Lee, you'd have DJ. Yeah. Maybe get a fight for Brandon Vera, still quite a big name.
Yeah, and
Vitor's out there.
Yeah, they may stack it with all their ex-UFC guys. You got John Lineker's making his debut in a couple of weeks in Jakarta.
Yeah. How's Sage's face holding up?
He wasn't there,
No.
But, we don't know about Sage. But anyway, man, like Christian, for me, performance of the night.
Look good.
Here's the question I have there. Is it just me, or do you think the Grand Prix belts look better than the championship belts?
They do. They're platinum.
That's true. Yeah.
And they're heavier. They're bigger.
Okay.
Christian looked like a boss with one on each shoulder.
Yeah.
That's the dream.
You should have seen him in the presser. Yeah, he's and DJ looked great with his. I'm glad for my man DJ, who also has been a bit unwell. He revealed today he's had something called SIBO, like a small intestine bacteria overgrowth for his last 2 training camps, which I had no clue about. And when you consider he put work on Danny Kingad he just dominated that fight, I think. And he struggled a bit against Tatsumi Suwada in Manila, but when you consider he's had illness, very impressive from DJ this year. It's not easy making that adjustment to a different organization, especially one in Asia in a time zone you never fight in, right?
Yeah.
How did he look I missed the third round, man. I was ducking back to the media room to go and write my report.
He looked fantastic from start to finish.
Yeah.
I think he is in that greatest of all time conversation. He's in the world pound for pound conversation. I mean, anyone he fights, he just puts on work. Like, you see him go through stage after stage to just look through the win. Yeah. So,
it surprises me that you told me he was a little unwell, because he just looked clinical and straight back up into that sort of GOAT conversation there. I thought he absolutely dominated King.
Yeah, I can't disagree. I mean, Danny Kingaid's pretty good.
Yeah.
Very good, but he was made to look average.
Well, I think the problem with someone like Demetrious Johnson, the problem he had in the UFC is who does he fight next?
Sorry, guys.
There's never really anyone.
Demetrious?
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's got title shot now.
Yeah.
Adriano Moraes. That's a good one.
Yeah. I have to fancy him in it.
It's DJ, can't hear you. Like, he just, I watched the fight again twice last night, and I was trying to think from the opponent's point of view, how can I beat this guy? And I just couldn't find anything. He was just perfect. Every time he sort of made his opponent make a mistake, make a new move, and he was all over him, pouncing, turning, very low center of gravity, just sprawling everywhere, just making it impossible to get anything.
Yeah, and DJ's fighting bigger guys in one, because of the way one's weight cutting. They don't have weight cutting, sorry. The way their divisions are, you have hydration tests, before you're even allowed to weigh in. So every division is essentially one up from what it was in UFC. But DJ was saying, because of this disease he's had, the health condition, he's small. He's like 136. He likes to walk around about 142.
Okay.
So I'm expecting to see even more from him in 2020, which would be incredible. Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that was the co-main on the morning card, and the best, last but not least, let's say, Angela Lee, the Panda Xiong Jingnan 2. The rematch lived up to the hype.
Yeah, it did. Definitely the best way to start the day off.
Yeah. So what time? I guess we're all Hong Kong, so that was around about midday.
I think between 1 and 2. If I
remember
Tokyo
were an hour ahead of you, so I think. Yeah. DJ came to the cage about 12, so I think Angela would have been there maybe just before 1.
It was about that time.
So you would have been midday for you. Yeah. Anyway, we're boring everyone with a talk about time. How did you think it was going? Let's talk it round by round, because I think for me, Xiong Jingnan Angela was walking into a bunch of
and
special right hands from.
To go back to the first fight, which I think you do have to in this context, because they've already gone 5 rounds, pretty much against each other. I mean, Xiong the Panda finished it very, very early, very late. Sorry, in the 5th last time, and I actually thought Angela Lee was winning that fight, probably just ahead on the judges' scorecards, but the Panda just kept going and breaking it down, and she just seemed to have a bit more in the gas tank. She just seemed powerful. I think seeing her come down in weight, I don't know if the weight cut is good for her. She didn't seem to carry the same power.
She looked gaunt, and so did Angela.
Both was like reversed, right? The roles.
Well, it sets up the trilogy perfectly.
Which weight do we do the trilogy?
I think strawweight, because Angela still wants to be champ. And she wasn't far away from getting it last time. I think everything caught up with her. She'd been out for a while the last time round. I think you saw the most focused Angela Lee I'd ever seen. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's probably
He then had said last year all suplexes are banned in a social media post, and also to further confuse things, the rule book in the program said nothing about suplexes, so no one knew what it was, and everyone was on Twitter saying, illegal suplexes are illegal in one. If it's not in the rule set, though, it's legal, isn't it?
Yeah, we are under the murky waters of the rule book of one championship.
Yeah, which, I don't know, man. I don't see them running it back and disqualifying Angela.
No, I don't think so.
I suppose all the more reason for the trilogy, I suppose.
And Xiong will be the last person to cry foul about it.
Yeah.
She's
a true warrior.
She's warrior. She's proud. She knows she lost. She was the second best that day. But it did set up Angela for the rear naked choke.
Yeah.
And
I was surprised Angela didn't use her ground game more often in the fight.
Yeah.
Well, I think the third round it was, she had her against the fence for a bit, and she was going for that, neck choke, whatever.
Bulldog or something.
Yes, similar.
Yeah.
It was kind of reminded me of the last fight when they had the 4th round armbar in on Xiong, and you thought, oh, she must tap. No, I thought she's done it again. She survived the adversity. Now Xiong's going to come strong. But Angela, to be fair, her cardio stayed into the 5th round this time. I think her father, Ken, he's very dedicated. He would have made sure she put in the hard yards. Anyway, yeah, Angela got the win. It was a great moment. 12 seconds left, very dramatic. Do you think she was going to win anyway?
If I'm being honest,
they don't do points in one. They do. It's the judges kind of judge on the fight, so you can't really say who was winning round by round.
Well, if we were going, first round, I was in her corner, Angela's corner. I would have said, keep your chin down because I don't know how you've taken these punches. Yeah. Her hooks are savage, and I don't know how she wasn't dropped. I guess that comes out. There's 2 things I think came out of that fight that made Angela look really good. One, that championship mentality, survived the initial adversity, show that you're a true champ, win it, And the second is she got a granite chin. Like, I've never seen someone take so many hooks to the face and just continue walking forward. It was remarkable.
Atomweight definitely better for her, I think, but she's struggling to make that weight. It takes a lot out of her.
Yeah.
And I know she wants to fight strawweight, but she got beaten by Nicolini in KO. Do you think her future lies up or stay at atomweight?
I think stay at atomweight for now.
There's no one really there to challenge her. Mei Yamaguchi, maybe? Again, they've done that before.
It's quite hard. Maybe have a Grand Prix. Grand Prix are always fun.
It was funny. Angela said, I'm jealous if Christian's got that belt. It looks so cool. And Chachi's like, we'll do an atomweight Grand Prix for the women, I don't know. The natural move seems to be the trilogy.
Yes.
But makes no sense Panda challenging again, I think. It never looked like she was going to win that fight to me. Maybe she'd sneak in on points.
I think it's best for them probably both to go away, have a fight, see how they're doing that, and then go back to the trilogy.
Yeah, possibly.
I could just see them thinking trilogy next for... I just presume they go back to Tokyo in March.
Yeah, Angela Lee, though, is quite a big star, so you could pretty much do her on any card.
She's going to be safe for these TNT cards, I think.
Yeah.
I presume they're going to keep doing these morning shows to cater to TNT in America.
Yeah.
And
when is the next TNT show?
We don't know anything yet.
No.
Talk about shame for them, having their big first show on TNT, and the arena was like half empty because no one could get to the arena. The trains were all shut till midday because of typhoon the day before. Yeah. I mean, we were all cowering in the hotel, the journos, the night before. The wind outside was crazy, rain.
So when you got to the main event, how was the attendance for the main event? For
second
the
card. Oh, for the main event, it picked up a bit, but they would have had a full house, I'm pretty sure, if there hadn't been transport problems, which sucks for them, but I'm sure it still came off well. The fights were all pretty good.
Yeah.
Only 4 fights, but they were all, even Janet Todd, that was a sick knockout, huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Didn't actually expect it from her. Didn't know much about her going into the fight, but really good fight, and I guess good for the American audience.
Yeah, good for the American audience. They obviously lost Eddie Alvarez, which was a blow, but Eddie will be back, as we said, maybe against Christian. How do you think that one goes?
I would have to favour Eddie Alvarez right now, just because of who he's fought, who he is, had belts in multiple organisations. So
yeah, I'm not going to write.
I'm not going to write him off. No, I just think maybe Eddie's wrestling would be at a higher level than Christian's. That's the only weakness I see in the armour.
World class.
Yeah.
And he's 21. Even if he loses to Alvarez, he should still
but
be very.
He talks like he's the boss of the division, and he backs it up.
True.
Christian's, don't sleep on him. He's got crazy confidence. And the scary thing is, there's 2 more Lee kids coming up.
Oh wow!
Yeah, over the summer they both won gold medals at like the youth MMA Olympics or whatever it's called. I don't know. I got the name of that wrong. They look scary as well. Ken's really making a real stable of Lee kids. Yeah. So Team Lee. They said Team Lee's the best. Don't bet against Team Lee. I bet against Team Lee. I thought they were both going to lose. I love both of them. They were both really cool people. I just thought Panda looked too good last time. I thought Daggy was a monster, but don't bet against them. Yeah, it seems like.
Yeah.
What about Bibiano, Kevin Bellingham?
Oh, great fight. I thought it was fantastic.
I just thought
think Bibiano proved he was a class above.
Yes. I think he made it boring.
Yeah.
He thought, I'm just going to wrestle this guy and get him down.
Yeah.
Kevin had nothing.
No.
I think last time, Kevin, they was just having a bit of a striking war.
Yeah.
And it could have gone either way.
I think he was a bit, I don't know, slightly overawed by the occasion or something. He just seemed very fidgety. Like, you know, it's good to get those leg kicks in, but he just seemed a little bit, I don't know, stop-start, and Bibiano just...
Kevin seemed super focused coming into it. It was surprising. He looked flat. I don't know what reason. You had a lot of stuff going on with the Typhoon, and I know some guys...
Kevin also fighting out of...
Lakai.
Lakai, yeah, because if you look over the last few events, Team Lakai have had a terrible record. I think I counted it up, and I think they have about 3 times as many losses as they do wins over the last 3 or 4
Yeah, they're having a tough time.
Interesting.
I will say, their new boy looked really good. Lito Adiwang.
Yeah.
Dislocated. Oh, did you see that?
No, I didn't.
The elbow came out.
Oh,
It's horrible.
No.
First round. I have a funny story actually for that. I was up on the concourse trying to get a coffee from this vending machine, and then this girl comes up to me and she's like, "Oh, hi, excuse me. Do you know how to get into the arena?" I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll take you. Show her to the door." And she's like, "Oh, brilliant, thanks. My brother's fighting." I'm like, "Oh, who is he?" He's like, "He's on now. It's Lito." I'm like, "I'll get in there. Yeah, go on." And she must have just got in as the bell rang, and then it was over in about 90 seconds. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was cool.
Wow.
He looked good. He beat a really good opponent. That's a bonus for Lakai because, as you said, Kevin lost, Danny lost, and coming off Manila, Edward lost.
Yeah.
Honorio lost in Manila, and he got monstered by Shinya.
Yeah.
That was over quick.
Shinyaoki is like a fine wine. He just seems to get better with age. I mean,
he does turn it on in Tokyo as well.
Yeah.
I think he gets the hype from the home crowd.
Yeah. And did you see Yushin Okami?
Yeah.
Still out there fighting.
Yeah.
I think he debuted 2000 or 2001. And it's 18 years of work. It's a very long time.
It's a tough one for Aguilan.
Yeah.
He just came off a good win. But he'll be back. He's young.
Yeah. He can never seem to get that consistency.
No, he wasn't embarrassed.
Yeah. But
he had no arguments about it.
It's that problem if you lose to Yushin Okami, who I think he's just about to turn 40 this year. I mean...
Not great.
Yeah, it's not great going forwards for Aglan.
Yeah. But what about Aj Singh Bula?
Oh!
You see the cool thing he was carrying down to the ring?
Yeah.
He told us about it. It was some kind of symbol of war the gods used to bring into battle. I can't remember the exact explanation, but he brought it back into him in the media center.
Yeah.
And had to answer the question like 100 times.
It was quite an odd fight.
Yeah.
It didn't show off the best.
No.
I don't think either of them have the best gas tanks.
No. It was 2 big boys.
Yeah. It was like Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Yeah. It was just who can knock the other one out. Or it wasn't getting too technical.
I mean, the match was postponed originally.
Yeah.
Because his opponent, Shirley, I can't remember what happened. I think it was staph infection or something.
Yeah.
On Manila card.
Oh,
okay. And it nearly was called off again because of this whole Typhoon. Imagine that if your debut had been put off twice. Yeah. But he looked good, and they need depth in those higher divisions.
Definitely.
Yeah, because...
Do you see Brandon going back up, or do you think him staying at that weight because his modelling and acting is...
That's interesting.
Paying a lot of his bills, it seems.
Yeah. I think he can go up to heavyweight. I mean, he's the champ there, and there's no real challenges, unless Aung La now wants to go up. Be a free-weight champ.
Free-weight champ, why not?
No one's ever done that, I think.
Do they test hydration tests to see if you're adding water weight?
Yeah.
Or is it just a minimum requirement?
I've seen Aung La bigger than that.
Yeah.
He was huge in Manila. He told me he was like 205 kg.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he was about 195 for this fight or something.
Okay.
He looked way more jacked in Manila, so he can get to the weight. I just think he's a special fighter. We were talking about this with the journalists, and I was saying there's something about Aung La. I think Bellator were interested in him.
Yeah.
He signed a 10-fight deal with one. That's ties him there for a while. He's 34. You got to think that's probably gonna keep him there till he retires, maybe. But
Probably.
he told me I might fight them all next year. What I do know is he's interested in fighting in December in Kuala Lumpur. Quick turnaround, but he didn't seem to take too much damage.
No.
And he, Rainer Derrida, I think. Dutch guy, correct me if I'm wrong. That would be a cool main event. I think Aung La just wants to fight. He was frustrated sitting out for 6 months. He was meant to fight this Derrida guy on the KO card in July, which Angela was on. But I think it fell through because of Derrida. What do you think? Too soon? Should he wait for that bigger fight? Or
I feel like he can just walk past anyone at this point. He just looks so good.
Yeah,
he
but do you want to fight guys you probably are going to walk through? He wants to go back down and defend that middleweight title, but I feel he needs to be pushed at that level of an Angela, at the level of DJ and an Eddie. He's a star.
I think he needs to stay active.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think he needs to be fighting 3 or 4 times a year at the moment.
Well, yeah, I think he said, I'm just getting started. It's just the beginning. It does feel that way. I know he's been, making waves in one for a while, but it seems people are only just starting to pay attention to him. When did he come on your radar?
I mean, I first heard his name when he fought Alan Nilani, our own very own
Hong Kong's Panther. Shout out to Alan.
And he just outclassed him there. So
I was surprised by that. I mean,
in an open weight bout, which I think one of walked away from open weight bouts now. Which is a shame.
Yeah, experimenting.
I always like a little freak show fight every so often.
Yeah.
Like I was gonna say for Demetrious Johnson, I would love to see him go against Gustavo Ballart, the very short Cuban.
Yeah, that would be great.
There's some very interesting pictures of him training with some very, very tall guys. It makes for
Aung La. Oh, Gustavo.
Yeah, so it makes for some fun pictures.
But I don't think Aung La's afraid of anyone. Again, just go back to what he said in the presser. He was saying, I've been training with guys like Stefan Struve, who's 7 foot tall, and Brandon's not that tall. Like he doesn't fear anything. He walked in there and I thought, he's just got no fear in his eyes. Whereas I think Brandon was a bit more tense. It was more on the line for him, I think. Because he's 42.
He's 42. He's got wife. He's got kids. He's doing the acting.
He's got the kids in the family as well. I mean, he's. I think Brandon. It was like this is the biggest fight of his career. Weirdly, it was. He said, "My dream is to be a champ." That dream was probably extinguished now. Unless Aung La was to drop that strap and focus on middleweight.
I'm sure he'll want a rematch or something. He him going down in weight. You never know what happens if he.
They could do it again. Yeah.
Back on.
It was pretty conclusive to me. I didn't feel like Aung La was going to get rocked.
Yeah. And also you have to think is how much training has Brandon Vera actually been doing power training, strength training when he's been trying to cut all this weight for his acting career?
Yeah.
Like...
Well, Brandon puts...
To change your body that much, if you get 2 pictures of him, anyone can Google it and see it on the internet. Looks like a different man. Yeah. And I mean...
He looked good.
Shredded. But to lose all that, you're training cardio and maybe you're not training, you're fighting as much. I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's conducive to being the best mixed martial artist you can be, to be training for action movies.
He said this is the best I ever felt. And
they all say that.
Yeah. I've never heard anyone come out and say they don't feel good before a fight, but...
Well, yeah. Well, funny thing he did say was when we were worried the show might be called off, he's like, I'll fight Aung La in the lobby of the hotel.
Wow.
We just get the lights on. Yeah, we'll do it there. What was cool to see for me, sorry to bang the table, was that they're both so nice to each other. They gave each other a hug at the press conference.
Yeah, there's a lot of respect.
Yeah, and it was so cool to see no trash talk. You don't need that to sell the fight sometimes. I know bad blood sells, but it was just a pleasant change. I know one markets themselves on we don't do trash talk, but they don't always hug each other. They genuinely seem like friends.
It feels like they have like a roster and it's like a team.
Yeah.
Like it does feel as if everyone there is all working together to try and promote one, and there does seem some togetherness rather than everyone just trying to get the biggest paycheck they can get rather than building the brand.
Yeah, I agree. It's different product to UFC.
Yeah.
UFC is still built on that feuds, I think.
Yeah.
One, you're never going to get that. And it's refreshing in a way. They've got to stand out, haven't they? You can't just copy the UFC. Look, Bellator tries to do it.
Yeah.
They're never going to be bigger, are they?
Respect. I think is a big thing that they push. So why not?
Yeah, sometimes you think it's a bit hokey, all this respect, blah blah blah, but it is about respect, and it's nice to see.
Well, for me, it does seem like it would be a much more family-friendly event to go to, rather than going to a UFC. It's a bit more of a lads on tour, or a weekend away with the boys for some pints.
The BMF belt.
They like to call them the superheroes, you know. And Chachi will say, like your kids can have a poster of them on the wall. Parents won't feel worried.
Yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, I mean, Aung La, genuinely a very nice man. I felt bad for Brendan because he was super nice to me.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, it's a cliche. Someone had to lose.
Yeah.
But none of us could really call it before. I was genuinely on the fence. Did you have any inkling either way?
I thought I was going back and forwards in my head all week. I mean, there's positives to Brandon Vera, there's positives to Aung La, so it's always really hard. I was probably going a bit towards Brandon Vera, just because I thought it would have power and a bit more experience, but it doesn't always work that way.
First exchanges were thunderous.
It must have been so tense in there when you.
I was super tense. I was heart beating out my chest. I'll tell you, all the fans from Myanmar just going nuts. I've probably the best atmosphere I've ever been a part of for MMA. Definitely the best atmosphere I've ever seen. Which is saying a lot in a country where neither of the fighter was like the home fighter. It felt like a fight in Myanmar. I want to go. I hope he fights again in Myanmar. I really want to go see that. I've been told by Matt Scott, our SCMP professor, the freelancer, that it's an incredible atmosphere in Myanmar. Aung La is a god there. He has a statue, with his one belt.
Well, I heard if you look at the proportions of social media followers, he has a higher proportion of social media followers in Myanmar than Cristiano Ronaldo has in Portugal.
Yeah.
Wow. So it does give you an idea onto his stardom. I hear when
That's
he walks down the street, it's like the Beatles.
That's what I like. He brings stats, Andrew. What are you bringing?
I know you put me on the spot.
You brought some pepperonis for me, which I'm very thankful for. Yeah. Andrew's just been in London learning. What have you been learning?
Media stuff.
Oh, yeah. Good to know when you're a journalist. Yeah. What are we saying? 1.7 million Facebook followers. I put up a video of Aung La. I recorded him for 5 minutes after the press conference, and the YouTube channel we have is quite new, very small following. I've gained at least 500 followers in less than 2 days.
Okay.
36,000 views it was as of an hour ago.
Which is crazy.
Which is mad.
Yeah.
And that's I've had a few thousand hits before. DJ one after Manila got like 13,000 or something, but all of those views were coming from being embedded in the story. And obviously DJ gets a lot of Google attention. A lot of fans from the UFC tune in to check out how he's doing in Asia. Aung La, the Google on the story has stopped where the video is embedded, but these hits are still coming from YouTube. He's clearly like a sensation on there, and I think one needs to capitalize that. I'm sure they know, but putting him back in Myanmar, would that be a bad idea?
Oh, I'd love to see it.
Yeah,
I would absolutely love to see it.
That'd be crazy.
It's just, would you hold it in the capital, you think, or?
What, Yangon, is it?
Yangon.
I'm not sure the facilities are great, as in the arena's probably not massive, but I know Dave LeDuc fights there with World Lightweight Championship. I'm not sure what arenas they fight out of. We'll have to check it out.
I would like to see them time it with the Shan State Wrestling Championship, which I hear is unparalleled anywhere in the world. Apparently, every state, they send all their best wrestlers there to compete. I do think with this massive background of left weight and wrestling that most kids actually learn in Burma, they're not very famous for it. I think we could actually see more and more stars come from Burma.
Wow.
You'd think they have a tradition of
martial art, but not just striking. They also have a tradition of wrestling, which you're 2 out of the 3 of the ways there. Just need to add some submission grappling maybe,
and they just haven't had that star, with international fame. Now Aung La is really well positioned to do that, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave LeDuc has been taken to the hearts of the people there, but he's French Canadian. And Aung La, I think we said already, speaks well. He's got the English. I'm surprised one haven't made more of him? Do you think?
Sure they will, right? I'm sure they will. I don't even think he's well positioned there. I think he's there, and he just needs that sort of backing from one.
It's little things like you want to make him look like a star. You need to make him look like a star. You got to put him top billing. He was the main event, but then he came for a press conference, and there were 6 other people alongside. I don't know if you watched the press conference after.
Yeah, I did, but he's not. He doesn't seem to be seeking out too much fame.
Yeah, that's to his own credit. He's very humble.
Brandon Vera I watched his recent Netflix movie with Ann Curtis, where he's a member of the Filipino SWAT. Yeah. So that was quite an interesting one. Cool, and have you watched Sexy Armor's movie?
No.
With Liam Neeson in the military in Korea?
No, I haven't.
Very sexy.
Very good,
very sexy. Always sexy. So I don't know if he needs to get into a Burmese movie or I'm sure get a little cameo, but I think that's really how he needs to build his stardom.
Yeah.
I think they need to now push him as one of those. The way that Angela is all over the posters in the US, when they're making that push on TNT, sell Aung La as one of our guys because his level is second to none. Pound for pound. I think. I don't know how you go about it, but yeah, he was a lot with me. Yamaguchi, Shinya Aoki, Bibiano Fernandez, Giorgio Petrosian, and Rodtang.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's too many people, and you do those 5, I guess, and then bring out Aung La for like one-on-one press conference. Like really give him his moment because I felt bad for him in Manila. They put him up for a press conference. He was there cornering Martin, and then 2 minutes in, DJ came and sat down, and no one asked Aung La anything. And I think he looked a little upset, like he wanted to get that publicity, and he wants that fame and that recognition. I think.
Yeah. Well, he deserves it.
He does, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, if you're doing a US card, would it make sense to sandwich him between DJ and Eddie Alvarez, something like that?
Give him one of the top billings. It depends. If you're doing that, I'm going Christian Eddie main event. Because you need that UFC. I hate to say it, but you need that
UFC name in the States.
Yes,
you want to go for Demetrious Johnson?
I think as it's close to Philadelphia, I think you get a lot of Eddie fans.
Yeah.
Where's DJ coming out? I can't remember.
Seattle, is it? West Coast somewhere?
Yeah.
Washington State.
I don't want to get it wrong.
And
somewhere, one of those 3.
Probably DJ will tell you he wasn't the biggest draw in the UFC.
Yeah.
He deserved to be, but American audiences don't seem to like the smaller fighters. Why he loves Asia so much. The fans all respect those smaller weight classes. But Eddie mixed it up with Conor at Madison Square Garden. Yeah. Like, he's sold out Madison Square Garden before. Of course, Conor's the A side of that fight. But if you want a guy to handle the pressure of a MSG card, you go to Eddie, I think.
Yeah.
So as long as he doesn't have like PTSD from that, MSG, it wasn't a great showing, but here's Conor McGregor.
No. But yeah, other than that, I think even if you put Angela top billing, she's not going to sell it out. Because enough people still don't know who she is in America.
I think if you were going to sell it out, you'd probably want her to be fighting out of Hawaii or somewhere.
Yeah, which they have talked about as well. But it's the same thing.
I think if you really wanted to get big crowds, you could do Sage versus Cosmo too.
Oh my goodness. I don't think Sage will ever fight again.
Yeah.
I'm being honest, I completely forgot about that guy.
Yeah.
That's such a shame.
Vito's been signed for a year now, and I want to see him get the gloves on.
Yeah.
You pull this wire for me, sorry, it's bugging me, Chris.
No problem.
I just want to loosen it. Sorry, I'm just moving it around. Sage, my opinion, he should go and do something else. Dana White said the same. That was a really bad knockout, and one that will change you.
I mean, his face was just literally rearranged. That's pretty depressing to see.
This guy called it as well.
Did you?
We were having a drink in Craft Brew in Staunton Street. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you said, I think he's got too much for Sage. And I said, oh, no, Sage. I just thought, former UFC guy, but Cosmo's a bad man.
11 times world champion kickboxer. But
wow.
Just when he used to be at Black Zillions, there was quite a lot of people, and apparently he used to do sparring. Stand-up would only be with heavyweights because he would do too much damage to the smaller people. So, I mean,
what a reputation.
If you're Cosmo, are you a bit surprised you haven't been used again since by one?
Well, he said he wants to fight Vito, and he says he doesn't want belts. He just wants the big fights. So,
wants money.
Yeah.
I feel
like he should have fought because, unless you follow Bellator closely or you're big into kickboxing, most people don't know who Cosmo is. But he's been training MMA for over 10 years. Black Zillions with Rashad Evans and Usman and people like that over there. So you look at it from that perspective, you think he should have fought again already because all of a sudden he became massive star. I mean, I think if you go onto one's YouTube, you'd probably find that the Cosmo Sage is still one of the most viewed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Viral, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely viral. That
The
knockout.
X-ray,
So
that shot was definitely
I mean,
viral.
we're laughing, but it was horrific.
Oh, absolutely horrific.
It's sad that everyone kind of stuck a knife into Sage, but
Has he said anything since?
no, not really.
I think it was a good time to build Cosmo if there's a time to do it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Dave. I think they slept on that. But,
Yeah.
His buzz has faded.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're Chatri, you probably want to create stars, and Cosmo had a bit of power coming off that, right?
Yeah, definitely. Put his name in the stars.
Maybe he's being saved for the end of the year. I don't know.
Yeah, that could be a shout. Do you think this will be? Have they got another one booked out for the Rio Goku Kikan?
No, I imagine they'll come back in March.
Yeah. You don't see them anytime thinking of moving it to the Saitama Super Arena and.
Oh, I hope so. We were saying this in the media room. It's a bit of an older arena. Obviously, it's really famous history, and I get why they did the first card there. It's like, the history want that, but I thought they'd move on to the Saitama
Super Arena,
just because it's more modern, in every way, bigger capacity, facilities are better. There weren't enough seats by ringside for all the media there. A lot of them had to sit in the back, and of course, when you're covering it, you want to be out there and everything to really sample that atmosphere. I just think it'd be cool to see them move to a bigger arena. So I think Chatri said they planned on doing it. There's always logistical issues. It might have been booked out for the Rugby World Cup. I don't know. Is it an indoor arena? Is it?
Yeah, it's an indoor arena.
Maybe I'll scratch that then. You never know what timing works out. Then but I would think they might look at moving venue for the next one in Tokyo. But next up is Jakarta, Indonesia. John Lineker. Gafarov, is it? Yeah. Dangerous guy.
Yeah, well, it seems almost anyone that comes over from the UFC, they really like to throw them in the deep end straight away.
Yeah. It's almost like, all right, let's see what you got. Everyone says UFC's better than one, and then we've seen guys like Eddie get knocked out on his one debut. And
some people were saying Demetrious was going to walk the whole Grand Prix. And he has won, but he has had the struggles. Yeah. He's had to figure out a way to beat people. He's lost rounds, but probably
he has. Yeah.
So
I'm interested to see, where John fits in. He was a fan favorite in UFC, obviously.
It was cool. I had a little thing. I
had a thing for John.
No. I had a thing for his power. He just seemed like those were just made of steel. But I did see, was it TJ Dillashaw who had sort of just neutralized him. He fought the perfect way, and that was when I saw like, okay, you can sort of find a way to counter those massive hands, but I don't know. I feel like him coming over to one, he's dangerous. Definitely. All it takes is one punch.
I think it's good getting more UFC guys. It's a bit cynical, but they bring eyes from the West. I can tell you, Eddie and the DJ, whenever they fight, there's a lot of interest. Everyone wants to see how they're getting on. Could you think of anyone else they might do well to try and target? And Chatri's saying we've got a lot of guys who want to come here when their contracts finish. Who do you think would fit?
Can I go someone very left fields rather than a big name? But
sure.
I mean, we just recently had the ADCC, the Abu Dhabi Combat Club World Championships in grappling, and Gordon Ryan, 24,
there you go,
most accomplished ever. Guy in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, IBJJF, ADCC, twice champion. He won the Open Weight World Championship, and he's just said he's done with submission grappling for now at 24.
Ooh.
Most gold medals ever, more than Verdum and Josh Barnett, etc. And he wants to concentrate on MMA. And obviously he fights under John Danaher, who is very good friends with Chatri, and Gary Tonin is already over here fighting. And when I've messaged Gary on Twitter, he's always said he plans to stay in Asia for the long term. So,
Gary's a star, I think.
Yeah, I think he's got something about him that talks. And
I'm surprised they didn't bring him on to this card.
Yeah, because he was super active, and then it seems to have slowed down in the last year.
He doesn't take any damage ever. He just destroys guys. But I think they maybe have no one else for him. I don't know. He walked through his last couple with a heel hook in the first round. I think.
It's tough. I wouldn't want to face someone who's that accomplished. It's just he's just so good.
Maybe he just deserves some time off. I guess you still go through those training camps, right?
Yeah. Who would you guys like to see? I went left field with
you did.
So.
I mean, I'm thinking. Let's go with Andrew first. What do you think? If you don't have one, I'll try and think of one.
Do they have to be out of contract, or I just think they're a good
well,
match?
let's say who do you want to see there? Like, be realistic. Don't say Conor McGregor.
Can I say TJ Dillashaw then?
Yeah, but I don't think they'd take a guy who failed a drug test. One's very like.
No, is that just not happening?
They
I mean, Vitor's failed. I mean, TRT Vitor was a thing at some point.
That's true. That was, I guess that's a long time ago.
Yeah, 10 years, maybe TJ in 10.
Yeah, possibly.
I was saying to you earlier, I think, or maybe it was someone else. Robert Whittaker would be a good fit. You know, he's
Australian
not into the trash talk. Yeah. And if you're being, but Rob would probably want to get that win back.
Guy who was released from the UFC, Elias Theodorou, who's also the ring guy for Invicta. So if you don't know out there, for the women's organization Invicta, instead of having ring girls, they have ring guys.
I didn't
know that. He stands there with his long locks and perfectly chiseled abs.
I'm surprised the UFC cut him, to be honest.
I mean, he's a free agent.
Got an interesting style.
I mean, really handsome kind of guy, you know.
But
and he's on a, I think, 6 fight win streak. Yeah, he's just boring.
Just a bit weird. Like he just moves like.
Well, it's okay to be boring as long as you get the job done.
True.
But I'm talking like, who can they get that's going to bring that star power, that can add value to a Madison Square Garden card, a name? I don't know.
I don't really know who's
I'm
out
sure
there.
They're working hard behind the scenes. Like, I thought Jose Aldo might go before he signed again with UFC. That's a name. I just can't think of the top of my
I'm trying
head.
to think. Weidman recently re-signed. Jacare re-signed. I can't think of anyone who I think they'd make it. If you want to bring someone over
DJ level, like a former champion,
you probably want to bring someone to fight Vitor.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Vitor.
Or do you stack Eddie and Demetrius' divisions, or?
I mean, anyone.
That lightweight division, I'll tell you, is incredible in one. You've got so many challenges Christian could pick from.
Well, Gary Tonin is. He's fighting lightweight.
Yeah, I mean, he's not even in that
the conversation yet.
But then you've got Tim Nastasiukin, who knocked out Eddie.
Yeah.
Ariel Sexton, Lowen Hernandez. I mean, some of these guys were all in the Grand Prix, and then injuries struck one by one. I mean, let's not talk about that Grand Prix. It was a mess.
Yeah, that second Grand Prix.
I mean, they did well to rescue it. It's not their fault with injuries. But the fact your champion wins the Grand Prix that was set to determine a challenger to the champion, it was a bit crazy. But good on Christian, man. Like, he's his own number one contender, you could say.
So is Eddie number one contender, or?
I thought so. If your guy who was going to be in the final drops out, it's the next move, naturally, right?
Or Nastasiukin.
Oh, and then you run back the Daggy Eddie, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Christian can choose now. Chachu said that. Christian can choose.
It'll be Eddie.
It's the King of the Mountain, and he said, I want Eddie. He wants the big fight.
Yeah. He's not scared, is he?
No. He's not scared, no.
Yeah. I'm scared of
confident
Eddie.
When I interviewed him before the fight, I was saying, would it be awkward if you lose? You then have to give Daggy a title shot. He said, when I win, I won't have to give him another shot. Yeah. It's cool.
Is he defending the belt?
He's not arrogant either. I'm not saying he's arrogant. It's like a nice self-belief. He was not defending the belt.
Yeah.
Which, that's what I meant. It would have created an awkward situation. If he goes out and gets sparked by Daggy in the first round, he's then got to fight him again. And it's just a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But he he believed in himself. Yeah. His team believed in himself, in him. And fair play to them. Now, Christian probably came off, for me, most improved on that whole show. As in, like, if you're talking about who came out of that show most with the star power that didn't already have it, maybe Aung La, but anyone on the undercard, I can't think, got that shine.
No, not really.
Yeah. I mean, did you watch those Shuto v Pancras fights? They were
I thought some of them were quite good. Some of them were quite interesting. What was the reaction to them by the Japanese?
Crowd loved it because they knew them. But I think they were on that undercard because it wasn't going to get the mainstream interest. I mean, some crazy fights. Did you watch?
I didn't watch those Shuto.
There were a lot of fights. I didn't watch all 22 because I was dashing in and out of the arena and just getting food and things like that. It was a long day.
How was it for you? Yeah, sort of.
As the first person. Incredible experience. Always loved going to Tokyo. Shame about the typhoon because I'm sure for the fighters as well, you want to go and experience the city a bit. I essentially didn't even get a chance to go around because, first of all, my flight was delayed on the Thursday, and so I missed the press conference. I got there on Friday morning, just about made it to the media day. Still didn't get all the interviews I needed, but it was cool. Saturday, we were on lockdown, man. Outside, it was crazy. You were advised to stay in. It was a bit strange, yeah. Just working in a cafe and a hotel, and behind you, all hell's breaking loose. Like, you went to Shenzhen, right?
Yeah, I went to the UFC in Shenzhen.
Yeah.
The only problem is in China, it's always dry.
Yeah, but in terms of for the logistical problems, I mean, we had a lot going on there.
Yeah, well, Tokyo is not too bad. It's much worse, sorry, because it's an older city.
Yeah.
Shenzhen, because it's brand new. I mean, go into the city, and it was about an hour drive outside the city to get to the stadium. So it was in the middle of nowhere.
Obviously, there was border checks going on.
Yeah.
The whole situation here.
Was it tough to get through?
I didn't go.
Oh, right.
What's been your favourite place to go to a one championship event so far?
The Tokyo. Yeah.
Tokyo, yeah.
March. I probably preferred that show. I'm an old school. I like one card.
Yeah.
2 cards maybe was slightly too much. I would have preferred one on Saturday, one on Sunday. If you still want to do the morning, do one on the Saturday morning and then do one on Sunday evening, or whatever, vice versa.
Yeah.
I guess you've got to then rent out the arena twice, which is going to double the cost.
Yeah.
But I could just tell everyone was a bit tired in the media,
Mm-hmm.
and I felt bad for the staff in the arena who'd had to just essentially pull a double shift.
Do you not think for the American market it would make more sense to start off with the main card, and then have like a middle intermission that's just full of prelims, and then the second main card, rather than having fights on at 9 a.m. in Tokyo? I mean, are people in America watching those prelims?
I don't know. I need to see the breakdown of
that's
how
interesting.
It went.
Yeah,
So
why
as
not
in
just have the main card,
like
and
that?
then in the middle have all fights in between, and followed by another main card, rather than having a 2-3 hour gap in between fights.
We'll see. I'm sure they'll get all the data they need.
What were most people doing in that 2-3 hour intermission?
It was longer than that. It was about 4 hours.
4 hours.
But it was not everyone from the first show went to the second. I think you had to buy tickets for each one.
Oh, okay.
I imagine if you travelled to come and watch it from another country, you probably would have bought a ticket for both shows.
Yeah.
Or maybe you didn't. I mean,
But if you're Burmese or Filipino, maybe
But
you
you-
just buy the second card.
But you had Filipino fighters on both cards,
Mhm.
and there were Filipino fans in the crowd in the first card who would have stayed through for Kevin Bellingham.
Yeah. I'm Brandon Vera.
Because you had Danny Kingad on co-main, and you had Lito Adewang.
Yeah.
And why not if you're there? I mean, I don't know the prices of tickets, but it seems like if you've gone that far, you'd probably watch it. But it was a unique experience, I'll say that. I've never seen anything like it, and kudos to them. I think they pulled it off pretty well. There are a few hiccups, but it was all out of their control. Things like the typhoon, and that created a few things like they didn't even have the generators. They didn't know they were going to have the generators to do the show, the power generators, until 4 hours before that first show started. Imagine that. I mean, they called that off.
They do leave it late.
Well, it was all out of their hands, man. Like, there was no...
True. Typhoon just messes everything up, right?
Yeah. There was a ton of England rugby fans in our hotel who'd all obviously come to watch the England v France World Cup. Rugby World Cup. And that sucks for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
At least they don't have 2 cards.
yeah, I think... Yeah. Also, that's an outdoor arena.
Yeah.
At least one was sheltered. I think they would have found a way to do something.
Yeah.
I know they had some contingency plans. Even if it meant just doing one card, I think they would have axed half of the main card and shoved the main fights from the other one all together to make one massive super card.
I'd like that.
Well, originally it was one card, and when they announced the original lineup of fights, I was like, this card is going to be incredible. It was still incredible, but it was a bit diluted over each one. But I guess you don't want to have every single fight being a banger, because then no one can take a breath.
So are the rest of the TNT cards going to be 2 card events, or can we just keep it at one?
DJ says they're going to do more of these
2 card events,
and he wants to fight in them. No, they can do more morning shows.
More morning shows. Okay.
I think it makes sense just to do one card.
Yeah.
I don't know. What for you as a fan? Would you prefer one card or
one? I mean, I get it was
there's a reason
celebrating, so that's fine. But
kudos to them. They did it. It's never been done before, and it was special. There was a great atmosphere. I just think you only want to do that. You don't want to do that all the time, do you?
Yeah.
Save it for every 100th show, whatever.
Yeah, it's a little bit of overplay.
Yeah. They bigged it up and they delivered.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone came away saying I wasn't entertained.
No.
Every fight on the main cards was very good, I thought.
Yeah, there was nothing that let me down. Do you have a bigger winner and loser from the event?
In terms of who came off?
Who got the best win for their career? And who lost the most for their career?
Who lost the most? I think you've either got to go with Kevin Bellingham. Because he's not going to get another shot. They fought 4 times.
Yeah.
He's going to have to just wait till Bibiano relinquishes it or goes somewhere else. Or you don't run that fight a 5th time.
No.
He's now stuck in purgatory, I'd say.
Yeah.
And who's he going to fight? That's my maybe Brandon.
Yeah.
You?
My biggest loser?
Yeah.
Probably Daggy.
I would have said that.
I don't know.
Yeah.
He's, as I said, he was ill. I think he can go out and lay some pain on someone, and then everyone will remember him again and respect him.
If he comes back,
he's young as well. He's 24.
Yeah.
We talk about Christian being young. Daggy's young.
Yeah.
And he's only had 9 or 10 fights now. He's won 8 of them. The other loss was a disqualification.
Yeah.
And all of his fights, his wins were finishes. So.
I mean, he might. Next time we see him, he might be all 100% fit, and you never know.
Yeah. And who's your biggest winners from the event?
Yeah, as I said, man, Christian rose. His stock really rose in my eyes. Aung La, I loved him before, but I feel like a lot more people are going to love him now.
I feel probably Aung La, and I probably have to go Angela Lee.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't even think about that.
I think if Angela Lee would have lost that fight, I mean,
you're asking questions.
You're on 3 losses in a row.
Yeah, you just lost your title.
And
she'd have to have fought May Yamaguchi, I think.
Again.
Yeah.
Which we don't want to see again. I mean,
May wants that fight. She said it.
Yeah, I know.
She she's gone about her business quite a little. But Angela, she was a big winner.
Yeah, I think if she would have lost that, I don't know.
I think she.
It would have been maybe a year to get back to fighting for titles. I feel if you lose 3 in a row, you've got to win.
Would have destroyed her confidence.
She must have been so relieved.
Yeah,
you could see it.
Yeah.
I mean, to get to where she is very mentally strong, but she does. I think that's why she's so likable. Is that she's not this perfect, super confident athlete. She does have some human flaws.
We thought if you look at was unstoppable, no pun intended.
Is a little bit more that
yeah
Terminator kind of mode. You know, she's just gonna run through whoever she fights, and she doesn't. When she wins, she shows emotion at the end, but in the build up to the fight, she doesn't really show the emotion. Well, Angela Lee was a very emotional fighter.
Yeah. She did very well there. She, as I said, I think she would have lost confidence in herself.
Yeah.
If she lost, it was a necessary win.
Yeah.
And I think it completely changes the picture for her. If she'd have lost, where she may have considered walking away. I thought, what's the point in staying if you can't be the best? She's part of a family that strives to be the best, and if you've got Christian coming up as well,
and potentially 2 more,
But I think Angela was one of the biggest winners. You're right. Yeah. She showed she belongs at that top when people had started to doubt her, and she doubted herself, but she reminded herself, I am damn good.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I didn't think about that. Did you have anyone else you think came off well?
Similar. I mean, Christian, I thought just showed 10 days notice. Give me anyone, I'll do it. And, he's now just positioned himself to call out probably the biggest name in the whole sort of promotion.
The whole one,
and
biggest loser?
Biggest loser?
You don't want to call anyone a loser for losing a fight in terms of.
I mean, I'm talking about not calling them a loser, but I'm telling who's lost the most.
Who
had the most to lost. Yeah,
I suppose Daggy, but as you said, he can bounce back. It just doesn't look great. That's all.
That wasn't the real Daggy.
Just can't really say Brandon or because he's still got a belt.
Yeah,
he's still got a belt and he's still got a lot of money coming in.
Yeah,
Brandon will not there's nothing shameful about that loss.
Do you think if he would have won, do you think you'd start to see him winding up his career?
No, he told me he wants to fight 2 more years.
2 more years.
Whatever happens.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't have to cut weight.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And a lot of these guys in one say the same, that it's not draining my body of the electrolytes and all that. When you're getting hit in the head after sucking all that vitamins out of yourself, that's when it's dangerous. Like DJ says the same. I want to be in one because I'm healthy. I'm 33. Why am I going to put my health at risk? I'm sure Eddie's the same. Eddie's fought a lot of times. So is DJ. You know, I can see more guys starting to think long-term one's maybe a good place.
Seems more like sustainable.
Brandon said as well, everyone should adopt this hydration policy.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I think the state of California, the Athletic Commission are looking at it. But I think apart from that, I don't know any other organisations that have it.
Yeah. Well, this is interesting. Yeah. See, when one does come to the US, which commission do they go to? Drug testing they're going to have to implement. I'm interested to see how they do it all. And if they can show on a main, like a primetime US television slot on a big network, TNT, that the hydration testing and they can get it all sanctioned, that would be huge for me to prove it works. And then they can probably shout to the rooftops about how great it is. I'm sure they'll be pushing that in the media there. That's a good selling point, isn't it? To showcase that our fighters have all had healthy build-ups to the fights. We're not sucking a lot of water out of our bodies and risking.
They just have to get fit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they all say it's so great to just be able to focus on the fight and not like I need to lose weight.
Well, I mean, we're all MMA fans here, but I mean, if you're a basketball fan or a football fan, or imagine if they started saying you've got to cut weight before you play another sport.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes no sense. No. Like, it makes no sense to cut weight before you go and do a marathon. You know.
So, well, yeah.
If the fighters are happy and they're satisfied, I think that's probably one of the most important things mentally as well, you know.
Yeah. Well, we're talking a lot of nonsense. We should probably wrap it up, guys, because I'm worried my battery on the camera will run out, which it did in Tokyo for the first press conference of Christian, Andrew, and DJ. Missed the second half of it. Still got a bit. Go check out our YouTube. I couldn't actually tell you. It's called SCMP Martial Arts. Just search that on YouTube. Otherwise, you can check us out scmp.com/MMA, or you can go on Facebook. We are SCMP Martial Arts. Twitter, same at SCMP Martial Arts. I am at Nico SCMP. Andrew, plug yourself a bit. Go on.
On Twitter, Andrew Muck Sport. And on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I post a lot of sort of stories about MMA and whatever. So, and
Andrew's doing some columns for SCMP.
Fun.
Yeah. Chris, give yourself a plug.
And if you want to follow me on Twitter, it's at C Edwards-Bailey, Edwards-Bailey. And from there you can find all my other social media and feel free to engage and have a chat.
Nice.